The Kansas Jayhawks rebound as they keep their streak at 1. I know Kansas lost 3 games this year, but that's in Bill Self's career. So what Kansas does such a good job of is bouncing back after a loss. The Jayhawks get Grady Dick with 21. Last night, Jalen Wilson only could get 2 points, but the Jayhawks won 88-80. Their game and a half back of Iowa State. The Kansas State Wildcats are 6-4 and need a win tonight. Kansas State is tied for 3rd. Kansas will play TCU. This will be a tough one tonight. TCU is also in the top 25. Keontae Johnson averages 18 points, and Mike Miles also averages 18 points for TCU. A pretty good game, but it'll be harder in the octagon. Kansas State is picked by 4.5. I'll have them winning 85-80. Mizzou will play the mighty struggling South Carolina Gamecocks, who are one of the worst teams in NCAA major top 5 conferences, and not very good on the road. Kobe Brown wasn't very good against Mississippi State. The team, Mississippi State, played a matchup man, which made it very hard for Missouri. They were in their grill. And if you want to beat Missouri on the road, anyone in the world, Kobe Brown is the best Tiger, as he wasn't very good against Mississippi State. But that's why they lost, because he needs to be good in order for Missouri to be good. Game time tip is at 8. Brian Flores takes his name out of the name for coaching candidates as a head coach, as it was announced yesterday that he will be the Vikings defensive coordinator. Now we're going to move on to the best GM in football. This was talked about in Sports Illustrated. What Brett Cheese has done. I'll attach that article at the end. I'll also attach the NFL article, and when we get to Black Lives Matter, I'll attach that at the end. I'll attach these each individually. This could change based on the Super Bowl, but the best GM right now, I have to believe, is Howie Roseman. Although Brett Veach has led his team to 3 Super Bowls, 5 years later, and a team of turnover, as they have no player remaining from the 2017. That's why I rate him as the best GM, to get his players back there, even in 4 years later. He's been a GM for the Patriots. He's been part of the Eagles organization for a long time. Brett Veach is the second best GM. You can tell me whether he has the best football player in the league. And yes, this is his 3rd time in the Super Bowl. Nobody else can say that among the GMs. Traded Tyreek Hill and made a great team out of it, who is on to the Super Bowl. Obviously, on this NFL.com article, they ranked Veach 6th, but he has to be better since he made it to the Super Bowl, and this article was wrote in April. 3, Les Snead, Los Angeles Rams. If I am approaching this by exercise like a power ranking, I am giving extra credit to anyone who wins a Super Bowl. For the former, you got the additional the best player since Lawrence Taylor and Aaron Donald. The Rams have the Super Bowl. That's why I picked them over the Bills GM. The Rams did not do very well this season. So that's also for an argument to be made for somebody else. Here's a link. Now we're going to move on to Black Lives Matter. And important things you can do from this article at TeenGov. I'll attach the article at the end. This says, first one, number 7, donate to victims, GoFundMe page, a crowd fund, set up behalf and verify it to make a legit direct. Friends and family typically make donations, leaving supportive comments. In instance where protests are arrested and may not be able to afford the bill to get out of jail. Also, sometimes they get arrested for longer periods of times. A lot of times people don't get the speedy trial, which is the amendment of the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution, and that's not fair. And some people get put in jail longer time than they should. Advocate mental health intervention. Some report says at least half of all police shooting victims is a mental health crisis. Speaking of someone who has a mental health problem, this stuff is terrible to hear. That happens for anybody, but especially for the African American people. Example would be the horrific thing that took place in Memphis. Caucasians don't have to worry about this as much. Keep record of the police encounters. Make sure the police are talking to the black community. This is what I've seen can help in mental health groups. I've seen them show up before, and you can talk about what they can improve on. You can certainly do this for the Black Lives Matter issue. Be respectful, stay cool, and be respectful of the police. Try not to ask questions because they'll ask you why and answer the question later. There's pretty long stuff at the end for this. Maybe we'll go over it tomorrow if we have time. Now we'll do sports that came in at 5. Steve Wilks will be the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, who took over from Matt Rule when he was fired in Panthers. He was a Missouri defensive coordinator. He did not do well at that time. Matter of fact, he sucked on the defensive side. That's why he just lasted 1 year in. Good job as other positions in the NFL. Now on to more news in sports. Talking to KD after Kyrie Irving gets traded to the Mavericks. We talked about that yesterday. I'll touch that link. We've got more stuff to cover tomorrow. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam's Sports Report.